Hello, hello. This is Jen. I hope everybody's good. Thank you for being here. I'm here with an energy update for the planet, for the twin flames, for the anybody on a spiritual path, going through spiritual awakening, spiritual ascension. A lot of things are happening. A lot of things are not happening, and it can be hard to make sense of it all when we don't know what's going on. So, um, well, first of all, today is a new moon, and I'm very grateful for this new moon because it's bringing fresh new energies that are much lighter than what we've been through for the past few weeks, even months for some. It's been very hard on a lot of people lately, practically all winter since the beginning of the year. So almost 6 months in now. Um, it's been rough because we've been called and pushed to clear and to be so uh, brutally honest with ourselves and letting go of things and accepting that we needed to let go, accepting that we are changing, accepting that we needed to embody our highest perspective in order to manifest what we truly want in our heart. We can't manifest what we want in our heart if we have interference in our lives. And I'm not talking about spiritual interference per se, but interference. Like if you're not aligned in all aspects of your life or almost all aspects, it's hard to manifest because there's some energy around you that is not vibrating at the rate it should to support your manifestations and your desires. One thing I wanted to talk about, and I've talked about it in other videos, but I want to come back to it, is the heart and the magnetic field that we have in the heart. I did mention before that it's been scientifically proven that we do have neurons in the heart. And those neurons are practically the same as the one we have in the brain, except that they are much more powerful in terms of energy. The energy that is coming out of our heart goes inches and feet or meters outside of our body as opposed to the ones that are coming out of our brain. And all our lives in school, and it's been like that for decades, we've been taught that the brain is the most powerful organ of the body, which is in a way because it can control all our organs, but it's not totally true. The heart is. When it comes to the energies and the magnetic field that is coming out of the heart, nothing is stronger than this. So all manifestations that we are trying to make happen in our lives, if they're not supported by our heart energy, they won't happen. They may happen, but they may break, or they may stop, or they may receive interference as we're trying to manifest that. And right now we are in a huge shift that will come to completion at the end of the summer, around August or so. And we are preparing for what's coming ahead in the next 3 to 6 months. Perhaps you are feeling this. Perhaps you are getting intuitions or guidance or visions about the person that you're about to become. You may get that feeling of, yes, it's clear now. This is who I want to be. I just don't know how I'm going to make it happen, but this is who I want to be. And it could be on a personal level in regards to your own ascension, or it could be on a professional level with your family, with your friends. It doesn't matter. So we are reinventing ourselves right now. So if you feel exhausted, if you feel all kinds of body pains and aches, it's normal. We've been working a lot trying to clear. Some people even told me that they felt like they've been going through what felt like a dark night of the soul. We're just know that at this point, we're not totally out of the woods yet. This summer, I'm not saying that we're going to have it as hard, but this summer is still going to be asking us to work very hard and very seriously. I've been given the message that if you're familiar with the ascension waves, the third wave is coming up. And if that message is for you, it resonates with you. If it's not, well, it's okay. It just means that it wasn't for you. But if you resonate with that third wave up for service, that message is for you. It means that you're going to be breaking barriers and changing a whole lot. You're going to join people who are or have been on this path for a long time. And you're going to join that collective of people that are awakened and working very hard to support this transformation. And it's a global transformation that we are in. Global. Everybody on the planet. It's just that nobody is at the same stage at the same time, which is beautiful in a way, and which could be a negative thing also at times, not always. So this summer, just brace yourself. Try to, the best advice is keep your energy or spend your energy wisely. In the sense that major events are going to happen, sorry, so not typical of me to, have a hard time with the word. Astrological events will happen, but not only that, we'll receive a lot of information, downloads, and new codes to help us integrate those energies into our physical body, into our cells, and to help transform our DNA. And talking about DNA, I've been studying spiritual science for a while now, and it is proven that we have been going through and we are going through a DNA mutation. And basically what science says is what we say, we being the spiritual people, is what we call the spiritual ascension. They're talking about a mutation in our DNA, meaning that they are studying the DNA and they are seeing changes, real changes in the double helix in the DNA, which is affecting the way we act, the way we perceive things, the way we heal our bodies, the way we go about our lives. And what they're saying, they're scientifically explaining what spiritual ascension is. And it is all related to consciousness and having a higher level of consciousness. And it always starts with us first. And then we see it on the outside. So whatever we have inside of us, we see it externally. We see it manifesting into our lives as well. And if you're able to use this as a tool, it's just easier to move through these changes because it's hard to keep up with that. It's hard to understand what's going on inside of ourselves. Sometimes we get so emotional, we don't understand why, and because we cannot relate it to us directly. I know it happens to some people, and it's not easy to understand. Sometimes we just don't understand what's going on with our bodies. Those sleepless nights, being dizzy, being so sensitive that we cannot be around people. Well, know that you're not crazy. This is spiritual ascension. This is a DNA mutation, and it's a global transformation that is going on the planet. And I guess that's why there's so many YouTube channels on that, because we are a lot of people going through this, and it's a hard expansion that we're going through. We're going back to our true nature as human beings, the way we are meant to be, which is operating from the heart at all times. In terms of twin flames, the divine masculine being awakened or reawakened or basically being pushed forward onto the next phase. Day 2, and when I say they, I'm referring to everyone, not necessarily the male twins. Day 2, us, we are pushed towards the next phase. So we are in preparation for what's coming up in the next 3 to 6 months. So it's important to stay still. It's hard. The divine masculine energy is all about willpower, acting, doing, making, trying to make the connection with the intuition. So a lot of masculine twins, divine masculine, are trying to understand a different layer of their intuition, of their feminine side. And that can be hard when you don't know what's going on, when you have no one to show you, or when you're going through so many changes that when you talk about it to someone, they're like, okay, I think you should go see a doctor. We all have been through that. I know I have. And I know how hard it is to talk about these things to people that are less awakened or not awakened at all. They look at you like you're an alien for talking about this stuff, this kind of stuff, but it's real. It's okay. It's real. Accepting it and surrendering to what is what's going to make it easier. So the divine masculine is learning these things, learning how to connect to their hearts more, to their intuition, to stop the mind chatter, the monkey in the brain, and to not listen to that monkey, because they have been doing so for most of their lives, and a lot of them have been taking the wrong decisions, creating all kinds of entanglement that were not necessary. And now they're being guided to awaken to their intuition and to the flow of energy and to the field, and to just surrender. Surrender to that, because when you do surrender, you're being moved by this wave of energy without too much effort. It takes effort, don't get me wrong, but it's a different kind, without being so tired, without the resistance. It's just like surfing. If you go surfing against the wave, it gets harder, right? So they are being pushed to educate themselves on that, to connect to that part of themselves. Some of them are going through some experiences where they are getting physical proofs of what happens when you listen to your intuition. Those sequences of synchronicities and being taken on an adventure and then finding out your answer at the end, that kind of stuff. What feels like a movie, what feels like a story. They are taken on that kind of road so that they can realize and understand and realize how they work their own patterns, how they can connect to that consciously and not by chance, consciously, and how they can accept things or people that are opposite of them or totally different of them. A lot of anybody who has a strong divine masculine energy is easily triggered or confronted by people that are totally different than them. And this will come into a better balance by the end of the summer. Some of them, depending where they are on their journey, will just start to be awakened and realize that, you know, this is not what I want for my life. I need to let this go, and this is a hard process. For others, even if you've been on this path for quite a while, you may still at this point have to let go of things. And it might feel like, if I let go of this, it's going to be empty. Not empty in a bad way, but like empty, and you're going to start realizing how much material stuff you had before that you really didn't need. That you could live with so much less and be much more happier and lighter, because the more stuff we have, the more pressure we have on us somehow. Like they say in a lot of songs, more money, more problems, right? So if you can find that balance, I'm not saying live without money, because that's practically impossible. It could be possible, but it's not suited for everyone. But if you can find that point where you're in a balance, where you don't have to overwork yourself or be so stressed out to make a lot of money, if you can, we all need money. I understand that, and that's not what I'm saying, like I said, but if you can find that balance where you're happy with what you are making in terms of money, with what you can buy, with how you live, with your lifestyle, you're going to realize that you don't need a lot of stuff. You're going to realize that less is more, and less is good. Less is very good. It feels good. It feels like you're free because you don't have that many responsibilities. A lot of twins, either the male or the female, but I'm still referring to the divine masculine energy, are going to be called to let go of things. For some of them, it's going to be about work, either cutting down on the amount of hours that they put into their work, or completely changing. Because they are now realizing, this is not what I want for the rest of my life. This is not what I want. I don't like this. If I'm being honest with myself, I don't like this. And they're going to start changing. For some of them, it's not even going to be about, I don't like this. It's just going to be an inner knowing that this is what we need to do at this time, just to move forward. Just to be that person that we want to be, just to be that authentic person that we are meant to be in a few months from now. Sometimes it's hard to see that happening because we have to let go of things that we really like. But if we do it with the conviction that it is for the best, the greater good, the highest good, it's easier to do. Easier to do, and just knowing that something else is waiting for us might help. So the new moon tonight, this new moon is going to bring fresh new energies that are lighter. They're going to let us catch a little break for a little bit, and then the work is going to continue. So brace yourself, keep working hard, stay in balance as much as possible. Sleep patterns are still very hard at this time, disturbed. A lot of people are being awakened many times a night. Appetite changes as well. Changes in the skin, body pains, pretty much all the same thing as usual. Body pains, but mostly on the right side, and then you might feel some kind of connection that is trying to happen between your right side and left side, which is good because it's the energies, the divine masculine and feminine, trying to get in balance, in harmony within yourself. So it's a beautiful process to go through. A lot of heart expansion, third eye expansion as well. Third eye activation or expansion. So a lot of people will start getting visions, clear visions of where they're going, of what's happening, and or what is being healed. When we're healing something or clearing something, sometimes we don't know why we're sad or why we're angry. Well, some people will start getting visions and they will understand, and that helps to just surrender to the process. It doesn't change. One key component of the spiritual ascension is surrender, accepting and surrendering to the process. Knowing that our body is changing, our mind is changing, our soul is always with us, guiding us to where we need to go for our highest good. And sometimes we are being tricked by our ego into thinking, no, this is not what I want. This is not what I pictured for myself. Yeah, okay, but I'm sure you've heard of the phrase, when we make plans, God laughs. Just follow your soul. Your soul knows what's good for you. Your soul knows what's ahead for you in a few years from now or a few months from now. And if you just listen and surrender to that, great things are going to come out of this. Great things are going to happen in your life. Things you probably never thought possible. Even more so if you do everything with love. Even when you're in those moments where you're crying and trying to release stuff and you hate the way you feel, give yourself some love. Send your twin some love. Send the planet some love. And watch what you're going to receive in return. It may not be a love declaration from your twin or from someone, but you're going to receive back, that is for sure. What we put out there, we receive multiple times. And the more we give, the more we receive. Of course, if we give just to receive, it's not going to work. But if we give knowing that we are part of this, that we're all one, and what you give to others, you're giving to yourself, if everyone could agree on that and understand that, we would live in a more peaceful world. So whenever you find yourself bored, take 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever. Just send peace and love to the world at large. Nobody in particular, just at large. Send peace energy, love energy. Actually, just love is fine. Just love is okay. Gratitude. Peace will be the result of that. So that's what the spiritual ascension is all about, basically. I think that's it for now. So thank you for being here, for listening. And if you want to reach out or book a reading or just chat, you can do so on my Facebook page, Indigo Girls Readings on Facebook, or using my email, indigogirl555@gmail.com. Thank you so very much for being here. Take care. Bye-bye.